Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nila Nur Fauziah. In this video, I would like to retell about short story and article. The first, I wanna retell about short story with the title Be Truthful. This story is about a young boy. The name is Puhraj. He is son of a farmer. The one trouble that people dislike is he often told lies to his family and many people. He would tell stories about monsters, snakes in the fields, and others. Puhraj's job is taking his father's cattle out grazing each morning in the jungle. But sometimes Puhraj didn't enjoy this job very much because he felt very boring. One day, when Puhraj was especially bored with looking after the cattle in the clearing, he decided to have a joke with the people of the village. He said, help me, I'm being attacked by a first lion." He told lies to the villager. At once, the villager came to the clearing so that they could save Puhraj from the lion. But when they arrived in the clearing, there was no lion at all. Just there is Puhraj around on the ground, laughing to himself at what a joke he had made. And then the villager is very disappointed in Puhraj and warned him that such jokes were not sensible. A little time passed and life returned to its normal routine. Puhraj do some trick to the villager, and then the villager angry with Puhraj. On the following morning, Puhraj was resting in the shade of a tall tree watching the cattle grazing in the clearing. He heard a gentle rustling of leaves behind him. When Puhraj turned to see what was making such a noise, he came face to face with a huge lion. The lion had big claws and menacing eyes and very sharp teeth. Puhraj jumped to his feet as quickly as he could and tried to run from the jungle toward the village, but the lion quickly blocked his escape. Help me, screamed Puhraj as loud as he could. I'm being attacked by a first lion. But when the villagers heard the young boy cry for help, they didn't care again, not this time. Instead, they returned to their work in the fields as if nothing had happened. And the last, poor to Puhraj, he was killed by the lion that day, because no one of the villagers believed that Puhraj was telling the truth. Puhraj had told too many lies and laughed at the villager too many times, and so the villager didn't believe him when he cried out for help. The second, I wanna retell about short story with the title The Wind and the Sun. One day, the sun and the wind were arguing about who was strongest. Both of them were arguing until a traveler walked by. The sun and the wind discussed and agreed that whoever could make the traveler take off his coat would be the winner. The wind began to blow as hard as it called on the traveler to make him take off his coat. However, it made the traveler wrap the coat around himself tighter. The wind couldn't make him take the coat off. After the wind had failed, the sun came out and shone with all his power on the traveler. The sun was very strong and made all the coats disappear. It was too hot for the traveler, who then stopped to rest and took off his coat. And then the traveler saw a river, so he took off all his clothes and jumped into swim. And the last, the sun was the winner of the competition. That is the story about the wind and the sun. From this story, we can get that logic affects more than severity. The last I wanna retell about article with the title Digital Self-Harm. Why are teens cyberbullying themselves? This article created by Katie Harley, LCSW. Why does teen self-harm? If talked about teen, chances are you have talked about cyberbullying, with teens increasingly using technology to communicate and develop relationships. It is natural for parents to consider whether or not their kids have witnessed, participated, or been a victim of some form of cyberbullying. A lesser-known threat to teens, however, is digital self-harm or cyberbullying oneself. Digital self-harm occurs when kids anonymously post mean or derogatory things about themselves online. Kids can set up ghost accounts across social media platforms and use those accounts to cyberbully themselves. The following risk factors for engaging in digital self-harm the first is experience with school bullying, the second is experience with cyberbullying, and then drug use, deviant behavior, and the last depressive symptoms. Why do teens engage in digital self-harm? Dr. Englander found a number of reasons why teens engage in this behavior, including to get another kid's attention, to prove they can take it, to get adult attention, to get others to worry about them, as a joke on someone else, and to strike a fight. Some teens might hope to find support by positive negative comment and message. It can be difficult to come forward and ask for help when you are struggling with emotional issues. But when others observe this kind of target behavior, they might be likely to jump in and help or at least validate the experience. What can parents do to prevent digital self-harm? The first is checking on social media. Monitoring social media with teens is tricky business. On the one hand, teens need independence and use technology to connect with their peers. And then the second is avoid judgment. The If you find out the child is engaging in digital self-harm, remain calm. Resist the urge to remove all technology and take the time to connect with your teen. The third is help your teen build a support system. In a time of constant online connectivity, it's common for teens to feel isolated from face-to-face connection. Building a solid support system helps teens feel less alone. It also gives them a feeling of a community. The last is get professional help. Psychotherapy with a licensed mental health practitioner can help your teen unpack the emotion and triggers driving the behavior and learn adaptive coping skill to use in the future. Okay, this is my video about retail short story and article. Thank you for watching. See you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.